Hello everyone, today I'm going to be demoing submitting an access request for a Snowflake asset inside of Atlan, and then after submitting the access request, being able to use ALTR's headless RBAC API to actually execute the grant in Snowflake. So I have a Atlan asset here. It is a Snowflake table in this database, in this schema called PII employees. It contains things like an SSN and an email, and I do not currently have access to this table, so I want to go ahead and get some kind of data access request for my Snowflake role to be able to see that table. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this button here, request data access. Now what this does is it produces this ALTR access request form. This is actually defined by me in the Atlan's governance workflow feature. And what it's going to allow me to do is be able to set off a workflow and to be able to set up things like a webhook or something like that based on the event that occurs when this access request is submitted. So if it's rejected, nothing happens. If it's approved, it'll set off a future webhook, which will then go ahead and actually execute the grants in Snowflake. So I'm going to select the select permission on this table and implicit privileges, which means that I get usage on the database and the schema as that is required in Snowflake to be able to select from the table. And we're going to go ahead and click submit on this access request. Now, just as clarification, nothing has occurred yet. I've only submitted the access request. But what needs to actually happen for the webhook to execute is that the admin needs to go ahead and approve it. So I can see just now I received an access request for the finance role for the select permission on this table here, PII employees. And I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, I see this as the admin. I think it's a good use of the request, and I'm going to go ahead and approve it. I can add an optional comment, something like here, and I can go ahead and actually hit approve on the request. So this, now that it's been approved, will trigger the webhook that will actually go into Snowflake using ALTR and execute the access request. So if I jump over into my Snowflake instance and I go ahead and select this query here, so this is going to show all the grants to the finance role, and it's going to pipe that into another query which is going to look for specific grants that concern the database that we just approved, the Atlan sample data database. So I'm going to run that, and we should see 3 permissions granted here to the finance role. That's going to come from usage on the database, usage on the schema, so those are the implicit privileges granted, and then select on the table, which is the PII employees table, which is the original part of our access request that we really wanted. The implicit privileges are required to be able to do something like this. Select star from PII employees. And so I've now demonstrated that through Atlan using ALTR as a headless enforcement, you can go ahead and from Atlan execute and approve an access request for a Snowflake table.